Got to get it, Papa. Well, here I am, standing in a colonial fort in the middle of Mobile, Alabama. And this is Fort Conde, if I say it correctly. And it's like colonial era fort, because like I think I said at another point, Mobile's been around here for a while. Yes, so I'm gonna wander and stroll around the fort here, and I was just informed that if I don't behave myself, they'll put me in the stocks, and I'll show you what I mean in a little while. And but besides that, they usually have a lot of reenactors here in the correct uniforms and doing, you know, mopping the floor and, you know, hauling ammo and cannonballs and stuff. And but they're all at a big event going on somewhere. So I got the whole fort to myself. Look that! Da, da, da. I came up and I stopped at door number 1. Don't tell anybody. Shh. Don't tell anybody. I'm gonna look. Let's see what's in here. Oh, look that! It looks like the doctor's office. Because I see some herbs up here. And some various doctor equipment, crunching stuff, and a little sign that kind of stands for doctor. And there's some of them little pots and tings you can put your medicine in. And if you look closely up there, there's a skull with some plants growing out of it. Things got pretty rough in colonial times. All right, let's go. We're gonna walk down a little bit. And see, they did have windows and stuff. Some people don't know that back in colonial times they actually had windows on buildings, but they did. And in this building, oh look, there's a ghostly figure waving at us. Look, come in, come in, come in. I'm wearing my traditional colonial garb. Look at me, I'm colonial. It's obnoxious. Oh, there's a desk. I'm not sure what this room is. It looks like a barracks room. Might be for somebody pretty important. If they have their own desk and their own closet and their own pike leaning against there, and I see their bed. I don't have a mattress on it, but they got the ropes. And they even got something to cook on. You can make some fondue in that little pot there. Oh, and speaking of fondue, look that! I'm not gonna open it. I will not open it. Let's see. There's all kind of cool stuff. Some of these I can probably just try to stick the camera in the window and see what happens. It's old, ancient glass, so I don't know how good you can see. That's going to be a mystery until I get this film developed. But yeah, over here is the armory, and that right there is a real live cannon. But it's kind of crusted. I think they polish it up a little bit and it'll look good as new. And yeah, here's the armory. And you can tell because the windows look like that. And here we are in the armory. And there's plenty of muskets. And that's the kind you have to ramrod the ball and the gunpowder and all that stuff, and you click that thing, you pop that thing, and it shoots off. Cool. But that's how they used to have to do. But that's some long muskets there. And here's some various instruments of armory-ness. And there's some of them things for pushing that stuff down in the cannon before you shoot that. And here's some more different kinds. I bet you didn't know what all these are used for. So they don't just push the cannonballs down there. They got some little brush tings. They can clean that, and they wire it out, and they, you know, do all that and make all that stuff come out of there and clean it out, or the cannon's not going to shoot too good. And that could be a problem. And there's the old bucket of cannonballs. Look that. And here's some interesting information you can learn about, once again, if you can read, but it tells all about what Fort Conde was doing here. And look, that's how thick the walls are in here, because they kept all that explosive stuff inside here. Here's my hand for scale. So yeah, if something blew up, it wouldn't do too much. It would stay mostly inside here. So there you go. But here's one of the most secretest doors of all that I was told about. So don't tell anybody I went in here. That's the fort, established 1723. See how long it's been around? Ooh, it's spooky sounding. But there's a way you can go through the whole fort through here. And there's some artifacts and stuff. Some swords. And compasses and all kinds of stuff. All kind of hysterical items. Here's a little more information. You can freeze that and try to read that. Here's a good quote. The first lasting French settlement of the Gulf states. And that's that, because this here is a map of New France. Don't go trying to call it the US yet. This was before the US came around. We got here eventually. And here we have another place to go. Oh, I gotta learn how to read. Oh, let me bend down here. Here's where we go. Oh, and there's one of our friends showed up. It was a local, and they tattooed themselves, and so it kind of, I don't think Europeans, I don't know when they started doing that kind of stuff, but I think tattoos kind of freaked them out at first. And it still does to some extent for some people. Uh-oh. And here's some emergency instructions. Hopefully we won't need that today, since there's just two people over here as far as I know. But this would be where some of the reenactors would be that can tell you about these things, these artifacts. And this is all kind of stuff they dug up when they were fixing all this stuff and repairing the fort, because believe it or not, the fort was mostly gone for a while, and a lot of it is still gone. It's just a small section. The part we were in outside, and the part I'm walking around in right now, is just a small part of the overall fort. And look, here's what we mean, because over here, that's the water over there, in case you can't figure that out. And this shows where we are, but where we are, unless I'm mistaken, I think we're in this part right here. Yeah, there's the powder magazine. That's where we were a little while ago. The curtain walls and the bastions and the curtain walls and all that. And we gotta try to go look at something over there. But that's the corner. That's basically all that's here right now. Built on the same spot, or rebuilt, reconstructed on the same spot. But all this other stuff is long gone. And you'll find out why in just a few minutes. Here's some old tools and big giant beam, a piece of a beam all chopped off at the end. Look at that. all chopped off. And here's some of the latrines. And I'm not going to tell you what happens in there. And here's some ancient bones and stuff they found too. I'm not sure if you can read that. That's like a tombstone marker, a grave marker. And there's a bobcat, but he's kind of flat. He left his skin behind. And look at that. There's some side arms. But look, here's why you have side arms in here. Look, that. And there's a sword. And this is a little model of when they were building the fort the first time. And you can see that little building over here behind the giant finger looks pretty familiar. And that's the corner of the fort that's left that we're standing in, right back there. And over in the distance is the river. And down over there is the bay. And this tells what was going on whenever the British took over. Because this changed hands a few times over the years. A lot of stuff in the United States did that. Started out with one country and ended up with another country and then ended up the United States. And this is when the British had the fort and it was being attacked. And so these guys dug these trenches all over the place so they could kind of sneak up, and they bust through, and then they shooted my awesome English, they shooted that building right there and busted it all up so they could try to get inside once they could get over there. But you can see there's lots of defenders on top of the walls over there, if you can see that. Let's do an aerial view. Now you can see that. But that's what the whole fort looked like back in the day. And look, they even bust one of those little things off the corner so the guy can't hide in there and look at them. They get all mad. People look at them, so they bust them all up. But that gives you a little idea of what the entire fort looked like in realistic 3D. It's actually a model. And here's part of the fort I don't like talking about too much. I'm not going to say why, but this is where they would lock up all the bad kids when they would talk back and stuff, and they close that big wooden door there on them and lock it. That'd fix them good, and they stay in there. And oh, now you're gonna get me again. Well, this is all kind of building tools and farm tools and stuff, because part of the reason to have a fort was to help the colony get established, and so all this kind of stuff was needed. And oh, they try it again. They're not gonna get me again. Once is enough. I think this is the well, representation of the well they had in the fort. And they filled it up with stuff over the years or something, apparently. That's weird. And plus they threw all kind of stuff down in there. All kind of bones and busted up china and glass and all kind of stuff. there you go. But now, oh wait, look, here's the actual well. That's where they get their water and stuff from if they couldn't get the brackish water over there in the river. But here's the secret part no one knows about. Don't tell anybody you saw this on Lukdat. But follow me up these secret stairs. Here we go. Oh, it's a lot of stairs. Oh, it's a little breezy up here. Oh, we could see all kind of stuff. Look that. You can see there's where they shoot the cannons out. Pow, pow. Except somebody built a house in the way. But you know, if you know how to shoot well enough, you might be able to go, you could go straight through that window and out the other side and hit something. That's the secret to a good marksman who knows how to shoot a cannon. And that's a good cannon. But wait, there's some more. See, we got cannons all over the place up here. You'll be shooting all kind of stuff. Boom, pow! Because this is pointed toward the river, except they put that building in the way. So you'd have to knock it down first, and then you could hit whatever's on the other side. And that's the secret to having an exciting fort battle. But look, remember on that model, they had that little ting that the guys coming up didn't like people looking at them, so they blow it up. Well, look that, I'm going inside. And here I am. Oh, and it echoes in here, listen. Shh, you gotta keep quiet in here, people hear you. Look that. Yeah, that's the view you get. Or we can go over here. That's another view you can get. And there's a sign down there about the Revolutionary War at Mobile. Bet you didn't know about that. And those are some actual old rampart type things. Part of the defenses here. That's still there. And this is the view you get when you're up here getting ready to shoot them cannons at people. Pow! And here I come. Look at that! See, I was in there. Pretty cool, huh? And see, when you don't have a cannon in the way, you can look out here and see how the walls are made. They kind of slant a little bit. There's a door down there. I don't know if that was there originally or what. There's a little door if you can kind of see it. And here's a good view from up on the roof. Kind of. You can see there's some of the other cannons and stuff pointing out. And the fort would have extended a lot further that direction. But this is sort of the, I don't know if you call it the courtyard. Oh, and there's a stockade they threatened to put me in if I cut up too much. But nobody's caught me yet, so that's a good thing. There's nothing quite like walking around on the roof of a colonial fort to get you all invigorated. I guess that's one way to say it. And but we'll walk along the wall, top of the wall here, and I'm going to show you a fabulous secret that no one knows about. It's a Looked At exclusive. We're chock full of Looked At exclusives. Because look, there's the fort. But do you have any idea what's underneath it? Here we go. Look that. Here's somebody coming. There they are. Yes, that's the Interstate 10 tunnel. And it goes right under the fort. Look that. Yes. Everybody that passes through Mobile, almost everybody, drives through that tunnel on their way to Florida, etc. And most people like me never knew there was a colonial fort on top of it. So look that. And let me show you this way. We'll follow the bouncing truck. And there you go. Fun for everyone. I bet nobody in those cars even knows I'm up here. Because when you're driving, you're in fear of your life and you're watching traffic and looking at signs and everything and getting all scared, and you don't look up here. But if you did, you couldn't see too much anyway from down there. Let's see what else is up here. Oh wait, there's a cannon. There's another cannon. Oh, this is pretty fancy. Look. They have a, it's like a Walt Disney World line to line up in, but I don't know why you would want to do that. There must be a secret entrance down there we can go look at. But look that. We get another look at it. And there you go. Look that, everybody. Coming and going, millions of people every minute. Now that's what I call a look that exclusive. But wait, I'm going in this other little ting over here. That one right there. And we go see what we can see from there. I didn't know they had two of these. I thought there was only one left. But there we go, and you can see that little wall down there. It was to discourage invaders. And you can see the interstate. Ooh, look at that. that's the interstate headed west through Mobile. And the brick street back there, there's some old houses and stuff. And all these, the ones you can look out and yell at people when they try to invade. Don't go in that tunnel! Don't stay out of the tunnel! And they look around, they don't know who's saying it. It's funny. Check back soon for more Look Dat.